Welcome back to another edition of our Gem Hunters series. In this sponsored review, I take a look at the Nervos network, which, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know has already been in our portfolio for months. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to bring to you a deeper dive look at the Nervos network. Ticker symbol is CKB. If you're looking at our portfolio, you know we've been tracking it over the last several months since the end of May of 2021. So if you're watching this review in 2022, first off, Happy New Year. I hope that 2022 is treating you well. Nervos.org. That's Nervos.org. And you can see that the most recent announcement is that GodWoken is live. They're going to have many code names and many things that we see on their main page. And I don't want you to be confused. So in this deep dive review, I'm going to try to structure it as best I can so that you understand everything you need to know about Nervos Network to just get started, whether you're interested in maybe grabbing some of the token yourself as an investor, or maybe as a developer, you're interested in possibly building on the Nervos Network, because it's quite a deep tech stack. But there are going to be a few code names, and I'm going to try to cut through all of what might initially be confusing to just let you know what you can do to take action today. As always, it bears mentioning that I'm not trying to tell you how to invest or what to do with your finance. I am not a financial advisor, and you need to take accountability for your own choices. So just take this with a grain of salt. This is meant to be a conversation starter, not a conversation ender. Please do additional research after you watch this video. And of course, everything that I show you in this video will have links down in the description for you to begin that research, as well as some other links that maybe we don't cover, such as the community outreach and the Telegram groups, everything else. I strongly recommend that if you're curious about this project, that you do go get tough questions answered. Any specific questions that only you might know that you have, get that answered by the community or by the developers directly by checking out those links. It's such an important step for you to take, and you can't skip certain steps like that. This is a very strong fundamental project. This is not in the meme coin space. Nervos has been around for some time, working tirelessly since 2018. Still, in my opinion, a fairly under the radar project. It's been in our portfolio for a reason. Part of it is because of the strong proof of work, or Nakamoto style consensus of proof of work on the underlying layer one. So it does use UTXOs, and it does have a block explorer that you can check out today, has its own independent and sovereign proof of work network. So a bunch of computers hashing away in various parts of the world that are untakedownable, right? They are decentralized and unstoppable. So it's a true blockchain, right? It's not a token running on top of a third-party blockchain. It does have strong ties to the Ethereum virtual machine and to Cardano, but it is separate from them. So let's jump in and tell you everything you need to know. It says GodWoken is live. This is a brand new EVM compatible layer that Nervos runs that allows for developers who want to be able to bridge or work with Ethereum or the Ethereum virtual machine to do so on Nervos network. That's the front page news from Nervos right now, but there is a lot more that they're working on. So let's start from the very top. Right here through their Discover tab, they've got a universal passport, roadmap, ecosystem team, and then multiple white papers because of how much they're working on. Let's start from the very beginning, their universal passport. Here, they talk about the creation of universal apps, and this is a very important aspect of Nervos, or that the team at Nervos wants to work on and bring to the forefront of the blockchain industry, is universal compatibility, not just typical EVM compatibility, or having just a couple of bridges for maybe being able to work with Solana, like Wormhole or whatever. They're going for the brass ring. They really want to have fully universal dApps that cross over into every blockchain and that allow for developers to deploy once and then utilize in many places. And then, of course, for end users to not be so confused with the fragmentation of having a seed phrase for this network and then another seed phrase for that network, and then to avoid seed phrase reuse, having different wallets in all different kinds of places, and trying to keep up with a new blockchain that's being launched. It seems like every other day or, every other month, like if it's a substantial blockchain. The Nervos network is really focusing on that universal DApp appeal of blockchain so that users have a simplified user experience. Universal passport. They say the blockchain ecosystem is still in a period of discovery as different chains and projects look to address issues such as performance, optimization based on the Ethereum architecture, Near and Solana, right? Kind of like trying to scale up performance, but still kind of being very similar to the Ethereum architecture. The design of blockchain infrastructure for specific scenarios like Filecoin for decentralized storage is an example. But the full potential of what a decentralized digital ecosystem and economy can offer has not truly been reached, as a number of basic infrastructure problems still persist. Poor user experience and operating experiences are key among them. And, I can't disagree, user experience has been a pain point. It hasn't stopped forward-looking investors and, and even some laggards in the investor space from trying out different blockchains and profiting actually quite handsomely across various different blockchains. But it is kind of a pain in the butt, if we're being honest, right? Like, it's not always the easiest thing to use or the most intuitive thing to use. Certainly not as easy as a username and password scheme that we're maybe used to in modern day computing. They're not wrong. Here's some of the barriers that they see to entry. This is hilarious, right? How standards proliferate. See AC chargers, character encoding, instant messaging, etc. Situation, there are 14 competing standards. 14 ridiculous. We need to develop one universal passport that covers everyone's use cases. Yeah, soon. Situation, there are 15 competing standards. Pretty accurate, right? We've heard this sort of thing before, right? We're like, well, it's got to be this new thing, and it's basically just another EVM chain that doesn't have a bridge even. I think that the Nervos network, they're aware of how audacious the claim is, how bold the claim is. We're going to make a universal standard or some kind of a universally unifying blockchain layer that allows everybody to participate meaningfully. But they say, yeah, migration costs for app developers are also very high. It's true. I mean, especially if you're looking at migrating something that isn't on a competing EVM chain with Ethereum. Certainly, there's all kinds of shifting gas fee structures, especially for deploying certain smart contracts and redeploying them or having ongoing deployment of smart contracts and calls to smart contracts. It can get very, very expensive very, very quickly to try to swim in those waters, right? Try to play Ethereum's game. They have issues with wrap BTC solutions, but there's Polkadot and Cosmos can complete cross-chain under their own substrate zone architectures. But Polkadot standards and the assets on the chain issued by substrate will not really be able to reach the world outside of Polkadot. I think that has proven to be true so far. Even though Kusama and Moonriver are doing some great things, they're not actually bridging really far outside of Polkadot. So I very much agree with the Nervos worldview here. The current blockchain ecosystem surrounded by these problems means the interaction between blockchains, assets, app, products, and users becomes difficult. Without workable interoperability, the blockchain world becomes a lot less potent. There's a real need for an infrastructure that can solve the problem of interoperability between assets, apps, and users between multiple chains. And this is where Nervos comes in with the creation of universal apps through its suite of developer tools known as Your Universal Passport to Blockchain. And this is kind of a visual demonstration of it, right? The Zcash address, EOS address, ETH address, BTC address, and the user, right? Trying to manage all these wallets. And it goes beyond the addresses, right? But the hierarchical deterministic wallets, like HD wallets and seed phrases that help them create new wallet addresses all the time. It can get far more complicated than just what we see here. But Nervos has built a suite of tools which we've called the Universal Passport. This is our solution to creating a next generation of interoperability that will empower the creation of universal applications, apps that transcend individual blockchains to work seamlessly across every chain in the ecosystem. In this toolbox, we have the Force Bridge, PW Core, and Polyjuice. Now, we also saw on the main page, there's the GodWoken EVM layer, which is currently in a whitelisting program. It's essentially in beta, but that could be added to this list of solutions that's helping to bridge the gap. These three important components of the Universal Passport solve the high barriers to entry, cross-chain circulation of assets, and the premise that dApps do not need to change their code to be truly interoperable. These components are based on top of the flexible underlying public chain the Nervos CKB. Through the power of the underlying public chain of Nervos CKB with layer 2 components, applications, users, and assets have access to a blockchain ecosystem that is likened to the internet as we know it today. And we've heard this as a goal of interoperability from many other projects. But what I think I see with Nervos is really good faith action in that direction, not just talk, right? This currently, for example, the GodWoken whitelisting program, to be able to bridge meaningfully, right, and seamlessly to EVM is a huge step in the right direction, but that's not the only direction they've chosen to move. And I don't want to like spoil it right now, but in a minute, I want to talk about it. And then they say a brief overview of the tools here. The PW Core, as mentioned before, part of that stack. It allows users to enter the Nervos network through various portals. So they call it the Portal Wallet. Not only a wallet, but also a complete dApp that leverages various features of Nervos. Users do not need to download new software or generate new keys or addresses to access Nervos. They can use their existing Ethereum addresses and wallets to receive and send CKB directly. To enjoy this seamless experience, users can open the Portal Wallet within MetaMask, IAM token, or a variety of other Ethereum dApp browsers to get started. So it is as simple as just adding that. And I'm going to go ahead and I will pause this video and then show you how to do that within MetaMask because, hey, talk is cheap. I want to show you how to actually make sure that this is meaningful and that they're not just blowing smoke, but that it's actually as easy as they say. I think it will be. I think you're going to be surprised. All right, so I found a quick tutorial on how to do this. Let me jump out of the way and show you exactly where it is. It's on medium.com. Got the link down in the description of this video. It's apparently the GodWoken TestNet. You have the RPC URL right there. The chain ID is 71393. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link address, put that into MetaMask under the new RPC URL right here. I've got all the rest of the information. I'm going to go ahead and put the, there we go, Nervos GodWoken TestNet right there. And now I can click on save within MetaMask and I've got, there we go. I've got 0 ETH. That's kind of funny. It really shouldn't show that. It should be showing CKB. So let me double check here in my settings one more time. Networks, where are you? There we go. You know what? Currency symbol, I could put that in instead. I'm going to put in CKB just so it's not so ambiguous. I don't want to see Ethereum listed there. So now I go back to my main settings and it shows CKB. And it's really that simple, guys. That's the beauty of working in EVM style chains. But I'm now connected to the GodWoken TestNet, and anything that's happening there, any experimental dApps or any other developments happening there, I can participate in.
That was easy.
But Portal Wallet bids farewell to the old process of downloading new wallets to use a new public blockchain app by allowing users to simply use their existing Ethereum address to send and receive CKB. It's a similar experience to many Ethereum apps, and in many ways, the experience is even better. These transactions run on Nervos, so the congestion and expensive gas fees on Ethereum will not affect Portal Wallet users. The Force Bridge, decentralized cross-chain functionality that feels centralized. I don't know that we actually have to add their GodWoken whitelisting program to this list. This lineup here might be closer to to right here, a Polyjuice. I go into that umbrella. But cross-chain bridges are nothing new. Nervos's Force Bridge is different to other Ethereum bridges, as most Ethereum bridges require users to complete several steps before moving an asset. Deploying a new asset on the target chain, registering the address on Ethereum, and specifying the relationship between transferring assets, for example. With Force Bridge, users only have to deploy the ERC20 contract to begin the movement of assets to a user or a dApp, as the bridge supports all ERC20 contracts automatically. By providing a native bridge that allows assets to move freely between chains and across different apps and users without any added obstacles, Nervos is bringing more interoperability to Ethereum-heavy blockchain sectors like decentralized finance and providing a more and giving DeFi applications. Oops. That might be a typo. Giving DeFi applications a secure and fully decentralized blockchain infrastructure to scale users and transactions beyond the Ethereum ecosystem, all with little to no effort. And then Polyjuice, the third part of their sort of like a secret sauce here. Get it? Juice, sauce. It's a theme. Let's run with it. 100% EVM compatible Ethereum on CKB solution. Polyjuice is an Ethereum on CKB solution, which means developers can port their existing apps running on Ethereum to CKB with minimal effort. Polyjuice is not just an EVM compatibility layer, but a general account model. In the long run, it can achieve more virtual machine environments and compatibility with more public chains based on the account model. which should be true of all of these EVM style chains, right? The account model of EVM style chains like BSC, Polygon, what am I thinking? AVAX, right? Avalanche, Phantom, and others. They're becoming extremely popular as sidechain, as sort of would-be sidechain scaling solutions to Ethereum. So they're gaining a lot of traction in that way. But what Nervos is proposing here is absolutely true. The account model, it has been proven to be very scalable and simple for users to kind of grok and get into. Over time, it seems to have really won the hearts and minds of a lot of blockchain enthusiasts during DeFi Summer 2.0. And I think what Nervos is trying to do is line themselves up for whatever the next iteration of DeFi Summer is, right? For DeFi Summer 3.0 or forward to line up users thinking about interoperability with the account model in a much more seamless way, as opposed to always needing to use some of the other bridges that are out there. But we'll see how that actually shapes up in the real world. It means that developers on other chains can migrate their app to CKB, and they will not incur too much development cost due to code migration or need to write a new set of code for the same logic. It's a bit like redeploying Solidity code in new places, but I don't know that that's exactly what it means. So internet users, Nervos network, blockchain users, it's really cool graphic there, but that's the main idea of the universal passport. There's a lot more depth to Nervos network, and without boring you to tears, what I want to do is show you how that is as simple as adding a new RPC to your MetaMask wallet so you can be on the Nervos network. How does that sound? Before we do that, though, let me quickly show you their roadmap. And that is that in 2018, they launched at a private sale. They raised $28 million from over 30 prominent VCs. And I think that it's important for the core developer team to have funding and to have utilized that funding to actually bring something to market. We've talked about this before. Yes, I think that grassroots projects are very valuable as well. They really are. However, there are many examples, shining examples of blockchain projects that have taken VC money and still been able to deliver on their promises of decentralized networks. I know it sounds like they're at odds. They're really not. In the open source space within Linux, or rather GNU Linux, for example, there are plenty of for-profit organizations that operate and that help to bring Linux to the masses and help to bring decentralization in terms of code, right? Free and open source software to the masses because they were funded long enough for developers to actually make something. I mean, if your developer starves, your project is over. So you do have to have some funding. And I see no serious problem with this at all. It can be abused, but that's true of anything. And it's extreme, but I don't think that this is too extreme. They open sourced it after they got started, after they had something they knew could work. And then in 2019, they had the white paper released. They launched the testnet. They had the Huobi partnership to be able to have a high-performance public blockchain for decentralized finance services, Huobi Finance Chain. And we know that Huobi Echo Chain has launched since then as well. So likely as a derivative work from that initial groundwork. But then in 2019, they had a public sale, mainnet launch, the Neuron wallet launch, the Explorer launch for CKB. In 2020, Huobi Finance Chain properly launched in a testnet. They had a grants program launch. So plenty of grants out there to help new projects launch in the Nervos system, Nervos ecosystem. Zero Knowledge Proof Toolkit grant awarded, which is awesome that they have zero knowledge proofs as part of their stack in terms of being able to write smart contracts that add privacy. And then they have an incubator that happened that launched then as well. Quite a bit has happened, right? Polyjuice, Lumos, Capsule Developer Tools. 2020 was a landmark year for them. Clearly also had Ledger Wallet integration, which is awesome to see. That's a bit of a preferred wallet here at mineyour.biz. So check for a link down in the description. We use it every day. So yeah, Ledger is very much a trusted wallet for us. Great to see they have support there. Ethereum, CKB stablecoin bridge. Great to see that launched as well. SUDT launch. I mean, so many things have happened so far, guys. This is an established, strong, fundamental project, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So it isn't a shock to see that Nervos is well established with really great milestones that have already been achieved and a growing market cap that's well exceeds what they raised in VC capital when they first launched, right? So, or venture capital rather, when they first launched. So I'm not shocked to see this. There's a reason we've been following it on the channel for some time. But doing this slightly deeper dive, guys, the GodWoken launch, that just recently happened here in 2021, and it's clearly it's front page news. Light client protocol, payment channels, state channels, Mimblewimble privacy integration, as well as I know that there's a bit of compatibility and cooperation with Grin as a project, which was one of the first examples of the Mimblewimble protocol in the wild. So there's quite a bit that they've been working on. Institutional custody solutions. For my part, I like sovereign cryptocurrency and self-hosted wallets, but there is a reality that custody solutions do need to be acknowledged. There will always be people in society who require special custody of their assets. And yeah, this isn't a shock, right? People who are nearing end of life, people who have to do estate planning, people for whom there will always be dependency because they may have special needs or special situations, be part of a special population. As it is today, there aren't that many great crypto wallets for blind people because if your phone speaks your seed phrase out loud for you to confirm verbally, guess what? The entire world knows your seed phrase. So custody solutions are important, and it is important for Nervos to be working on that and crafting the future of custody solutions for their network and their ecosystem. It's good to see. But then they're clearly not done yet, right? They have funding and the market cap is growing. Speaking of growing, this video is now over 20 minutes, and I appreciate that you're watching to this point. Just as a reminder, if you are not subscribed, please do. It does help YouTube and the other platforms that we're on know that this is content that you find valuable and that you prefer deep dive content that helps you get questions answered and helps you ask better questions of cryptocurrency and blockchain projects. Really, knowledge truly is power. So we love being the mentors that we wish we had here in the Mind Your Biz community. I appreciate you being subscribed. But moving on, guys, there's actually so much to cover with Nervos Network. It is such a deep and rich project that is building such an audacious thing, right? It has such a bold claim and such an audacious goal to become a universal blockchain. That's not an easy thing to cover in 5 minutes. And if you just hype it as like, oh, it's the universal blockchain, guess what? Other blockchains say that, but don't deliver on it. So we do need to do deeper dives on projects like Nervos. But that's their current roadmap, and they're continuing to deliver on it. Some of the partnerships also are just super deep. Infrastructure for developers, they use the Chainlink Oracle system. Grin has been apparently instrumental in helping them to implement Mimblewimble as a protocol for privacy, which is great for scaling and speed on a UTXO style system or Nakamoto consensus, UTXO style system. They also have the account-based system and EVM tie-ins. So it isn't strictly speaking just this, but because Mimblewimble does not really apply, right, to Ethereum and EVM directly. There are other ways to do that, but there's a bit of a hybrid and integrated approach with Nervos that is not here or there, right? It's not strictly just a UTXO based system, nor is it strictly an account based system. It does have elements of blockchain that tie into both. So Mimblewimble is great to be able to implement in those areas that are UTXO facing. So yeah, that's awesome. Band protocol, PW SDK, Muta, Leap DAO, and then Bitcoin SPV or simple payment verification utilities, which is one of the very first simplified wallet implementations that I believe launched when Satoshi was still active. Or was proposed when Satoshi was still active in developing the Bitcoin code base. So while some people say, oh, SPV isn't good enough, I beg to differ. It works. It works, and it's implemented for a reason. So NFT and gaming, they have partnerships with XHRO, so Hero, Tokyo Golden Legend, sorry about that, DAS. They have 2 explorers. We got one of those open. I want to briefly look at that as well. And then various different community-oriented groups that are helping people to become educated and have better community conversations. It's so important, right? Videos like this, right? I try to cover as much as I can in a dedicated deep dive video, but I can never hope to answer every question or cover every aspect of a project like this. Community outreach is so important, and they've got it, right? It's there. Wallet support, as mentioned before, I'm happy to see Ledger is supported. Kind of sad to see that that as of right now, Trezor is not on the support list. Kind of sad, but if there is MetaMask support, then at least through MetaMask, Trezor does indirectly support the network by using MetaMask. But then you got BitPi, Kobo, others that are very popular for a reason and that work quite well. Some of these are not strictly. It's not just hardware wallets here, but yes, so many great wallets that support it. Ledger, of course, top of our list. And then various tooling, right? Polyjuice, as mentioned before, the Ethereum compatible layer that's on top of Nervos. And they've got links to their GitHub, so you can start checking out the documentation there. ZK Proof Toolkit for CKB, which again, I'm really excited to see that there's provision for privacy using zero knowledge proofs, especially when you look at an EVM layer. It's so important to have that. Business partners and investors are listed here. Huobi Group, obviously, but then some other really well-known good actors in the space like Polychain Capital, Sequoia, and others. So mining pools, as mentioned before, it is secured by proof of work, and we talk about that on the ongoing live stream series here at Mine Your Biz, the mining market signal, and it's mineable via an ASIC network. It was previously, and I guess still mineable on FPGAs as well. So we've talked about that and seen how that side of our portfolio has done really well. Price action isn't everything, but it does help, right? It does help to get stuff built if the price is good. But also supported by Antpool because there is a Bitmain part that corresponds to the mining of Nervos and using the hashing algorithm that's indicated for mining Nervos. And then security, multiple audits by Certic, Trail of Bits, PeckShield, and Least Authority. So there are audits that are forthcoming as well as they continue to roll out new functionality and new sides to the Nervos sort of SDK and ecosystem. It's extremely important. So these partnerships are real, right? You'll notice that nowhere here does it say things like, well, we're partnered with AWS. You know, right? Like how some tech projects will say, we're partnered with this company that's basically just a utility that is paid for. It's not really a partnership. So there's a lot of strong partnerships here that have to do with actually integrating code or actually getting goodwill from other groups to assist in integrating code. You love to see it. I wish I saw more of this in more projects. Pretty big deal. Here's the team though. Wow. Okay. Agents of change. So we've got the co-founders, the top three listed right here: Terry Tai, Kevin Wang, and then Daniel LV. Research and engineering, bunch of people. I don't want to go out of my way to mention every single person because community and ecosystem there, it just keeps on going here. There are multiple links for you to discover more about Nervos Network, develop there, invest, or join. And if we ran through all of these, the video would run well over an hour, right? There could be so much more that we could learn here. And this is the main Explorer at explorer.nervos.network. And it shows us the mining hash rate, shows us the current mining difficulty, shows us the estimated or average nominal block time of about 7.6 seconds, which it was kind of fluctuating from before. An important thing to know about blockchains is they're not exactly like a metronome. It's not like perfect timing that you set your watch to. There is a nominal block time, and then there's the actual block time. And so here on Nervos Network, it looks like the nominal block time is somewhere around 8 seconds, and the actual is close to here, what it shows on the average. Shows the current epoch. They're over 4,000, and then the estimated epoch time is 3 hours and 33 minutes. So multiple epochs per day. Transactions per minute. The current throughput is about 20, and it's not the nominal max throughput. That's the current average actual number of transactions. And so nothing to hide here. They do need more usage. They do need more users. We can see that as transactions come in, very few transactions coming in per block, right? Last block was 2, then there was 3, 4, maybe is the kind of the tops. On average is about 4 transactions per block. And so they have headroom. They have headroom for more transactions. They have headroom for more development primarily. So if you're a developer and looking for a way to expand your skill set from EVM chains, maybe Nervos Network is a good place to flex those muscles, right? To start building and scaling in addition to what you're already doing with Solidity code on Ethereum. Could be a really good option for you. If you're looking for a little bit of collateral to get started in that effort, there is a faucet at faucet.nervos.org. And I don't know how much longer they're going to run that faucet, but it seems as though that should get you enough collateral to get started, be able to deploy some smart contract code on either their mainnet, which just for the record, is called the Lena mainnet, or on the Agron testnet. And then, of course, you can also apply to be whitelisted for the GodWoken EVM compatible layer. And there, if you're a developer, I think they'd be happy to have you, right? To see that additional development and try out things on their bridge there. Something else that's maybe important to mention. I had the blog post open, and let me see if I can pull it up now. Not GodWoken there, but important to note also that back in June of 2021, here's a blog post, which is linked down in the description of this video, that Nervos and Cardano had a cross-chain bridge launched as part of their Force bridge. As mentioned before, part of the kind of the secret sauce of what makes Nervos a growing universal ecosystem. And this is what I was hinting at the beginning of this video. Ethereum cross-chain compatibility has kind of been something that a lot of blockchain projects aspire toward after DeFi Summer 2.0. Because DeFi Summer 2.0 showed so much value locked on the Ethereum chain, that made good financial sense for them. However, Cardano's ecosystem is growing, and the interest in building on Cardano is also growing. Platforms like Ergo and others that have shown interest in expanding the Cardano ecosystem are kind of proving this. And, on my channel, I don't really talk about Cardano in the most favorable way. I don't mean to disparage it at all. I have taken a much more wait and see approach, but I think it's telling that projects like Nervos and like Ergo are choosing to build there, and they are choosing to expand the Cardano ecosystem. My friend Forrest from the Hashoshi channel, he's pretty much all in on Cardano, and he's a very intelligent guy. So I don't doubt that there's reason to be excited about that. And I just want to bring this up because I think that Nervos creating this bridge, being properly compatible between both Ethereum with the new GodWoken EVM layer, but then also using the Force bridge to go to Cardano, I think that's a bit of a unique thing. I don't think there are many projects that are building so aggressively in both these directions, kind of holding that olive branch out to both Ethereum maximalists and Cardano maximalists. It's kind of a unique thing, I think, for the Nervos network. Guys, that's, I think, what I have time for in this video. Let me know what you would have preferred I cover additionally on top of what I've already covered so far. Yeah, I've gone through pretty much kind of the official narrative of the Nervos network. We can take a look at hash rate, and we can take a look at the portfolio performance during the regular live streams. As you already see, we do talk about Nervos in that context of it being part of our paper trade portfolio. So we do track its performance, and it is doing actually better than Bitcoin in terms of an ASIC mineable entry into our portfolio, which is, it's kind of cool to see, right? It's one of the few that's performing that well. So we're going to take a look at that in the future, right? As well as its mineability and the net relative difficulty of mining it over time. So that's going to be something that we continue to comment on. But what do you think I could ask about projects like this that would help you make a more informed decision? Let me know in the comments section. Also, of course, check all the links down in the description and let me know after you've done a bit of your own research. Are you as excited about the prospect of Nervos doing this universal dApp creation as I am now? I didn't know I was this excited until I took a closer look. It's very difficult to cut through the white noise of blockchain currently, especially with all the meme coin projects that we cover. I know there's a lot in the Gem Hunter series, but I think this is uniquely a gem, right? For unit bias, I will talk about price just a little bit right now. For unit bias, as of the time of recording right now, to have a 2-cent coin price is very attractive to most of retail as far as investment goes, because it indicates that you can get a lot for just a little bit of US dollars. And then with the current market cap being not quite yet $1 billion even, it's over $500 million, but its market cap is not even $1 billion yet. And that to me indicates that there's plenty of headroom for this project to grow from the investing side. And I think that will be attractive to a lot of retail. So I think it really does fit the description of a phenomenal gem. They've got years now of successfully developed and delivered roadmap items and milestones, and they're still, frankly, just getting started. They do have a lot more to build, and they haven't run out of developer funding, and they haven't run out of hash rate from the mining network. they are in a very secure place. So I think that it's a great time for us to be talking about Nervos and for us to be taking a closer look at Nervos. You tell me, though, in the comment section after you read through a bit more of the documentation for yourself, are you excited? Because I think I am. I think I'm very excited about Nervos right now. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you watching to this point in the video, letting me know what you think down in the comment section and referring this video to other people so they can see a deeper dive about the Nervos network. Of course, sharing is caring. It does help me and the channel, right? It does help the algorithm let YouTube know that this is the kind of content that actually will help people. So appreciate all those clicks. They do count. Appreciate you watching the end of the video, guys. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Be sure to check out mineyour.biz, where you can sign up for our email newsletter, where we're still ramping up content, but you will occasionally receive specials for flash sales and all kinds of other deals that we have going on the site. You can also check out our services page, where we offer consulting to projects that need it. You can pick up the Freedom Phone, which respects your privacy. You can pay for it in crypto and have it shipped to you anonymously, as well as getting merchandise that also is paid for with crypto. That's right, we practice what we preach, including, well, a Flux swag page. That's right. It's a dedicated page just for the team over at Flux Network, because we love them that much. Thanks for watching to the end. Thanks for being subscribed. You know I love your face. Be sure to stay private and mind your biz.